Hello comic lovers, it's I, Chris, your broke comic book collector. I have a video that is technically not a special request video, but I took it upon myself as a special request video. Somebody my wife works with watches the videos and asks my wife, what does he mean by this? What does he mean by that? What the heck is he talking about? So I took it upon myself to make this video. Now I know there are other videos out there like this, but because this person is asking my wife these questions, I'm going to make this person a video. And yes, Taylor, I'm talking to you. Alright, to get this video started, I am going to start with newsstand and direct edition. This here is your newsstand. This here is your direct edition. The newsstand, because of the UPC code, these were sold in like a grocery store or a bookstore, maybe like a Kmart or something like that. As to where the direct edition does not have the UPC, and they were sold in, well, comic stores. The newsstand is harder to come by in a higher grade because of the fact they were sold in stores that typically didn't care about a comic book. They would just toss them on the comic rack or the wall or wherever they kept them at. They would manhandle them, and they didn't really take care of them. As to where the newsstand or the direct edition, they did care about comics. So these are easier to find in a higher grade, as to where these are not. Now they also have a direct edition with a UPC, but there's a line through it. So honestly, I don't think I've ever seen one, but I mean, I've seen them on YouTube, but I haven't seen one in person. So that is newsstand and direct edition. Next up, I would like to talk about some defects in comics you'll hear me talk about. First up is a spine roll. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but a spine roll, you see how it's kind of, the spine of the book is kind of rolled. That's good right there. How it's kind of rolled up like that. That's what is known as a spine roll, and that's caused by a few things. Just stacking your books on top of one another, all the spines on top of one another. Well, that weight causes all the spine on the bottom to roll up. There's a few ways to get rid of that, but I'm not getting into that. And that's a spine roll. Now, spine split. Now this is a very extreme case of a spine split, but I will show you a spine split. This is a very extreme case of a spine split. See how the spine has been split. Now it's very extreme, but that's just to show you what a spine split is. Next up, what do we got here? A tick. Now these are, see these white, they're on the spine, that's where we're all at. These are known as a tick. And these are color breaking. Now, non-color breaking, this is going to be hard to show, but let me pick on his tail, on his black tail. Now let's just say someone is, I don't know, pushing with their fingernail. And when they move it, they have that little indentation. Okay, that's known as a dent, but it's, if you look at it and it's still black, it doesn't break color. And that, a pressing can help take that out. Now, a pressing, I don't know how to do it, but a pressing will take out the spine roll. It'll take out non-color breaking dents or things like that. It won't touch a spine split. It won't fix that. It won't fix any of these. These are all, they won't touch anything that breaks color. It will fix a spine roll though. Now next up, I just saw this and I didn't think about this. What is known as a miswrap. Now, I don't know how well you can see this, but see how it's thin up here? It's just, this is an old dirty book. And a dry cleaning will clean that up. But a miswrap, see how it's the blue cover? It's thin up here, but as it goes down, it gets wider until it gets down here at the bottom. And that's a miswrap. So if you wonder what I say about a miswrap, but that's what that is. So those are a few defects that I wanted to talk about. Next, we're going to talk about key or grail. Key would be the death of somebody or something. The first appearance of somebody or something. Like an origin story of somebody or something. Now, grail is a sought after book. Now, the example I'm going to use is both. This book here is my Holy Grail, or we call it a Holy Grail. I mean, not this book right here, but Showcase number 4. This would be my Grail. And also, it's a key because it's the first appearance of Barry Allen as the Flash. It's also, now that I'm aware of, it's debatable, but I'm not positive. Showcase number 4 started the Silver Age in comics. It went from Golden Age to Silver Age, and they say this book started the Silver Age in comics. So, because, well, even just because it's the first appearance of Barry Allen as the Flash makes it a key, and it makes it my Holy Grail. If I could ever afford it, which I probably won't be able to. But that's a key and a grail. Next on the list, we have homage, or as I like to say, homage. Now, I know it's pronounced homage, but I think homage sounds much more sophisticated. Homage is basically paying respect to somebody. In the comic industry, homage is one artist paying respect to another artist. I have a couple of examples I'd like to show you. First one, I will insert a picture of Action Comics number 1. So, as you can see here, this artist is paying homage to the artist on Action Comics number 1 that I just previously showed you. Now, continue on with our examples, I will show you The Amazing Spider-Man number 129. So as you can see here, this artist who did this cover is paying homage to the artist who did The Amazing Spider-Man 129 that I just showed you. Now I'd like to show you another homage cover. I will insert a picture of The Incredible Hulk number 1. So again, as you can see, this artist here was paying homage to the artist on The Incredible Hulk number 1. So those are a few examples of homage covers. Now we've entered probably the longest segment of this video. We're going to start talking about variants. I know you've heard me use that word before, so here I'm going to try to explain this. Now, I've talked to my LCS about this, and it started making sense, and then it got a little confusing. So I will do my best. We will start with Teen Titans number 20. This is the regular cover, or you'll hear me say cover A. And we have Teen Titans number 20, the variant cover, or I'll say cover B. Variants also come in like a blank variant. Okay. Now this, I believe this is right. Stay. I believe this is a 1 in 10, and that means your LCS would have to order 10 of the regular cover of this book in order to be able to purchase one of these books. Okay? We also have 1 in 15s. Now this is Teen Titans number 20, but this is a 1 in 25 variant. Okay? We have another 1 in 25 variant. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 800. Now I've seen this book here. I think I've seen like a 1 in 500, and I even think they go higher than that. Which, wow, that's a lot. We have a 1 in 100, which I believe I stole this off eBay. For the price I bought this for, I think I stole that book. Now, these next two books, I've heard that this book here, The Man of Steel number 1, was the book that started the variants. You had your regular cover, and then you had your collector's edition cover. And this was a variant cover. And so they're saying that this book started the variants. Now, some people, sorry, I'm messing with my pile of books over here. Some people call these books a variant. Now, I know you've seen this before. Okay, this is Spider-Man. Superman number 423. This is the direct edition. And this here is the newsstand. Okay, now some people consider newsstand books a variant. Now, personally, I don't consider them a variant because the only difference in these books is this barcode. So they were only sold in like a grocery store. So to me, that doesn't make that a variant. A variant is like a different cover. So there's something different about that book. Now, this next book I don't own, so I just made some printouts. It was easier to show and talk about it. This here is Sandman number 1. This is the regular cover. This is from 1974. Now, when they were printing this book, the color started to run out, and then it started printing these books. Okay? Now, this is known as the magenta variant, or the magenta color variant. Now, people call this a variant, and like the last one, the only difference is the color started to run out. So if anything, this would be considered an error book, or a printing error. I don't consider it a variant. So now, let me go back to the original books here. Now this is where my LCS is trying to help me. We'll go back to Teen Titans number 20. The regular cover and the variant cover. Now according to my LCS, they could order all of these or they can order all of these. It doesn't matter. Now the only thing is when they wanted to order like a 1 in 25. So they had to order 25 books to get this one. Then she started talking to me about how Marvel does it. That's where she lost me. I completely lost it. I could not figure out. You had to order so many books to be able to unlock a completely different book. So let's say if this was Spider-Man, you had to order X amount of copies of like Spider-Man to unlock a Captain America. I just went home. I could not follow what they were saying. But that is the segment on variants. And I hope I didn't lose you. Well, comic lovers, sorry to say it, but I had to cut this video into 2 videos because it was about a half hour long, and I don't even like really to sit down for a half hour and watch a video, and I would never ask you guys to do that too. So this is end of part 1, and part 2 will be coming up soon. Thank you.